Hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Immortality. In the last episode, we decided it was time to move forwards onto Minsky. Now, before I do, I've decided this was the first clip in Minsky. I think it would be good to rewatch this, just to give us our starting position. However, at the end of the last episode, I was talking about how obviously Ambrosio was never released. We don't know why it was never released. And I made the comment of, despite all of the chaos that was going on set, it still seemed like a pretty decent film. All you'd have to do was edit it together. And that dinged something in my memory. I just want to rewatch this very, very quickly.
Va bene. This has been my first time working here in Italy, and my first time working with the great Arthur Fisher. I just want to say thank you for trusting me to be your Ambrosio. What a movie. I always say, you can't make an A picture without an A team, and this has been an A team. Look, we took an 18th century novel and made a 20th century picture out of it. That's pretty magical. M.G. Lewis, I don't know if you're up there or down there. Wherever you are, I hope you like what we made. VMO. Arthur, you want to say something? Come on.
Well, as you know, I work behind the camera, and I usually have someone to write all my dialogue, so I'll keep this short. You all have been wonderful, and I'm sure you're probably sick of hearing me talking, so I'll shut up. Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Robert. And Marissa, get up here. And all of you, you've been a marvelous crew.
This has been my first movie. What a first movie. I feel like I just went through 4 years of film school and acting school and just life in a few months. What a team. Arthur, you were harsh but fair. For everything you put me through, I learned a lot. And your karma is having to spend the next 6 months staring at footage of me while I sleep it off.
Arthur was the one editing the picture. Maybe not doing it himself. He might have been working with an actual editor, but Arthur was the one who had to piece it all together. We know that Arthur is a bit of a control freak. More than a bit of a control freak. He is an extreme control freak. And he really let this film get away from him. It's very clear that Arthur did have a vision for this film. It seemed like quite a boring, old-fashioned, even for this time period. Even for this time period, Arthur's vision seemed quite outdated. But he had a vision. And it's one thing to go through an experience, to go through this, shoot from hell. It's another thing to watch it back and see just how much your vision got trampled on. As I said, when you're in the moment and you're kind of living it, that's one thing. But now it's been a few months, you're sat in the editing room, and you're seeing for yourself from an outside perspective. That's how they were talking to me. That's how they were treating me. Marissa's telling me to go fuck myself. it'd explain what Marissa knew. I've said it before in that interview where the interviewer is saying like, oh, and Ambrosio's gonna come out soon. She says, I hope so. Like, why not just say yes? Clearly, Marissa knew that, there might be some dodginess here because she knew that Arthur was the one editing it. Maybe she thought, oh, well, he'll change certain things. He'll cut things. We probably won't be able to get away with putting the pornographic scene in the film. I've got my eye on Arthur. I've got my eye on him. He's a control freak and he is having to watch clips of his crew and the cast. Because, like, it wasn't just, Marissa, Sophia, Robert who didn't like Arthur. John Durick outright took over the set. John Durick is giving direction. So it's not just the disrespect from the actors. And Arthur's been treating the actors like cattle. I don't necessarily know if he'd care too much. It's John. John is supposed to be on his side. John is supposed to be his employee. And he's completely taken over. He's ignoring Arthur's direction. That pain, that betrayal in a way, out of all of the reasons that I could come up with for why this film may not have come out, bearing in mind who was editing it, I think that Arthur Fisher got really pissed off. I think that Arthur Fisher saw the footage, saw the crew ignoring him. The wardrobe lady was taking direction from John. Same with the people in charge of wind. They're all taking their direction from John. The cast are telling him to go fuck himself. He saw all of that, and I think he said, you know what, fuck this. Fuck this shit. I'm not having it. I'm not having my name associated with this. This is not my vision. They slagged me off on set, and you know what, this might be a decent picture. Fuck it. No. Absolutely not. This is not an Arthur Fisher picture.
I hope you see something you like in there.
Everyone, a big round of applause to our star, our gorgeous, la bellissima Marissa Marcel. I love you all, and I'm here only to say that I paid for the bar for the next hour. It is rare that I'm this generous. So please, have a drink and toast to our new friends. To movies. To movies. Cheers.
Yeah, look, also I should just say there was a vibration. There wasn't a vibration there before. I probably will, at some point, I'll go through all of the clips I've collected and I'll watch them through just to see if there are any new vibrations. I won't make you all sit through that with me. If I find anything new, I'll let you all know. But for right now, I want to move on to Minsky. But just look at the body language here. Arthur tried to join in on their toast. He went over and Marissa has blocked him out. Gino, he's the producer. He's the outsider. He's on his own. But Arthur, he's been blocked out. He's been blocked out of his own movie. I think... I'm thinking hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, which doesn't exactly fit Arthur, but... The cast completely ran away from him. The crew mutinied almost. His vision lies in the dust. I think Arthur is petty enough that he would say, fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck y'all's careers. I'm not having this. Well, let's... I want to see what that vibration was. Oh, hello. Hello. Let's go forward a bit. It's a very long vibration. Come on, give. Where are you? Can we?
When I woke the last time, I was into chaos. I was weak and confused. I walked down through the villages. I found her in a field. She was still alive. She was beautiful. The choice was made for me. She wanted to know what I was. It was an ange. I took her into a farmhouse and devoured her. Her memories are still in here. She hadn't seen much of life, so the horrors of her last years dominate. She hadn't yet been kissed. She loved the woods, particularly that patch of the Kaile which she would stick to her brother's back. In English, it's called robin round the hedge, or sticky willy, goosegrass, cleavers. Her favorite meal was crêpes avec endive, cream and petit noir. Although I don't feel hunger, I still crave them from time to time.
I am very glad I rewatched this. Back to the beginning, if you please. We're gonna take this line by line.
When I woke the last time, I was into chaos.
So she did say that she slept through a world war and found that the world had entered another. So yeah, she slept through the Great War, World War One, and then woke up and it's like, shit, they're still going. Oh no, it's a different one. It's a different one. I
was weak and confused. I walked down through the villages. I found her in a field.
Now, I found her in a field. That is never a good line. That is never a good line, because you would like, oh, I met someone in a field. I encountered someone in a field. You don't find people in fields. I found that, like, the only time you would use that is if you're talking about a missing person or a body. Oh, I found them in the field. They'd been missing for 2 weeks. Or I found them in the field whilst I was walking my dog. It's always the dog walkers and the joggers. They're always the ones who find the bodies. I should just say I have made the connection. Êtes-vous un ange? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue.
She's still alive. She was beautiful. The choice was made for me. She wanted to know what I was. It was an ange. I took her into a farmhouse and devoured her.
My question would be, when you say devoured, do you mean that in a literal sense? Like, oh yeah, I ate her. I did the cannibalism. I ate her. Or do you mean... This creature is clearly not human. It is clearly not human. It has an expanded lifespan. Claims to have been both Mary and Jesus. This thing is not human. Could it mean devoured in like some kind of metaphorical sense? Or is this very literally like, I ate her. I ate her.
Her memories are still in here. She hadn't seen much of life, so the horrors of her last years dominate. She hadn't yet been kissed.
I'm thinking, I'm putting bits and pieces together in my mind. I'm worrying that I'm doing 2 + 2 = 5. My thought is that, so Marissa Marcel, French name, sounds American but could be French. She would have been alive at the time of the Second World War. However, it's describing the incident we saw. It's describing the incident we saw. Originally, I thought, okay, so with the other scene where Marissa is on the floor, she's wearing, I described it as odd clothing. However, in hindsight, I don't know much about French fashion from the 1940s, 1950s. I don't know what was commonly worn by, you know, French girls at that time. However, it might fit. That shirt might fit. We didn't see the rest of her outfit. My original thought was, okay, they're trying to make this connection between this creature and Marissa. So that's why they didn't use a child actress. Because they needed the viewer to know, okay, this is the creature interacting with Marissa. We might not have realised that, oh yeah, that's supposed to be Marissa. We might have just been thinking, oh, who's this random ass kid? Who's this random ass kid? So my initial thought was that, like, Marissa would have been quite small. It's this line. She hadn't yet been kissed. If Marissa, let's say Marissa was around, again, I don't know when World War II ran, you know, to and from. Let's say she was 5. Let's say she was 5. You would not say that of a 5-year-old. I would hope that you wouldn't. That's a really weird fucking thing to be judging a 5-year-old, a small child on. You'd say that about a teenager. Let's go from there.
Her memories are still in here. She hadn't seen much of life, so the horrors of her last years dominate. She hadn't yet been kissed.
That's a very tight smile. That's uncomfortable. That is painful. Like, you don't find healthy people in fields you meet, you encounter, you chat to, you see. You don't find. I'm gonna take her word at face value here. Her memories are still in here. The scene where Sophia was being raped. She was wearing Marissa's clothing. And we could hear the sounds of World War II and a German saying, oh, hold the French bitch down, or whatever it was. Hold on to the French bitch. That's what it was. She had a head wound. Marissa, I mean, she had a head wound. And are you an angel? That's such a weird thing to say, unless you've just been raped by German officers and left for dead in a field. And then this strange lady with her hair slicked back, ruffled dress, like a French girl from the 19-whatevers is never going to have seen a woman like this. She's just experienced this horrific thing and, oh shit, is this an angel come to take me away? Did I actually die in that attack? And that would... She hadn't even been kissed, but she had been raped. That is...
She loved the woods, particularly that patch to the Kallista's which she would stick to her brother's back. In English, it's called Robin Round the Hedge or Sticky Willy Goosegrass, Cleavers. Her favorite meal was crêpes avec endive, cream and petit noir. Although I don't feel hunger, I still crave them from time to time.
Oh. I've been saying for a while, what is this woman? What is she? Because she's clearly not human. I'm still not 100% sure what she is, but it's... She awoke from her sleep. She walked through the villages. And she found a French girl in a field. I think that was Marissa. I think she found Marissa in the field after having just been raped. And she said the choice was made for me. I took her into a farmhouse and devoured her. So it was a case of easy prey. This is easy prey. She clearly, the fact that she's, her memories are still in here. She shows discomfort. She showed a lot of discomfort in the rape scene before. But she showed discomfort with the, oh, she hadn't even been kissed. She smiled when she was talking about the, oh yeah, she used to stick goosegrass to her brother's back. She smiled like she was experiencing that for herself, and the desire on her face when she talks about her favorite meal. She clearly feels something. She clearly feels something for Marissa. There is an emotional connection there, but she's some kind of like a vampiric parasite almost. She devoured her to gain strength, I presume. If she had just woke up, everything's going mental. She needs some form of sustenance, so she devours Marissa. But then I guess how is Marissa up and about? And how hasn't she aged? If she was a young woman at the time of the Second World War, I mean, to be this, how do I put this? This was, I mean, look all the way down here. Part of me wondered, I wondered if they weren't having Marissa age because, oh, it's the same actress, so fuck it. However, John Durick, like, he's got grey in his hair here. He doesn't here. They're showing John Durick age, but Marissa never seems to get any older. I think we have part of our answer as to what this woman is. Part of our answer, like I said, she's some kind of vampiric parasite. Consuming others to sustain herself. But then that leads me on to the question, well, how is Marissa still up and about? she could be like an actual parasite. Like she, I don't know, like maybe implants herself within the bodies of those she devours. Maybe she devours them from the inside out. And she kind of maybe like hijacks their life. They get some of her abilities, like her expanded lifespan, but she's kind of this unwanted passenger, or maybe it's like skinwalkers. So she takes their form as her own, maybe. I'm not sure. Either way, I was supposed to make a start on Minsky. I'm very sorry. I got distracted. It was something important, though.
Hi, Marissa. How are you? Thank you. Now, you must be very excited.
I am excited.
Now, you look very young in person.
People always say that.
You look, what, 15, 16?
Maybe.
Can we tell the people at home how old you actually are?
Yes, I'm 20.
That is correct. Now, we know you from the movie that you just finished shooting. It is finished, right?
Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah. If you don't know, it's a bit of a fairy tale. So Arthur Fisher, the great director, who you probably know from his movies such as Marion and The Man Who Dreamed, was casting for his new movie, Ambrosio. And so instead of casting a recognizable face, he wanted to find some fresh talent. So he put the word out and saw, how many was it? 10,000?
Oh, I think it was over 20,000.
20,000. He saw 20,000 girls, and long story short, he picked you.
Yes.
And you'd never acted before.
Not on the screen. I had done modeling and I liked the theater.
That is amazing. I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Yes, so I play Matilda, and, well, I don't want to spoil things too much. She's a young woman who sneaks into a monastery disguising herself as a monk. And then there's a lot of drama and magic.
I'm sorry, I have to pause there. That description there, Matilda disguises herself as a monk and sneaks into a monastery. If this is a case of skinwalking, bearing in mind that the stranger, she is really enamored with human creativity. She is really enamored with art and theatre and now filmmaking. She believes that humans have this wondrous ability to create. So in a way, the plot of Ambrosio could mimic what she has done if this is a case of skinwalking. She has disguised herself as a young actress and snuck onto a film set. In the same way that Matilda disguises herself as a monk and sneaks into a monastery.
Magic and intrigue.
Okay. Marissa Marcel as Matilda, a woman disguised as a young monk. Here we go.
Oh my God.
The same magic that powers this lens can also grant you what you wish.
How so?
You remember the night that I was to die, when we took to St. Clair's sepulchre? That night, I performed a rite. I summoned a fallen angel to aid me.
What have you done?
Wow. Quite a role for your first movie.
Well, Mr. Fisher was quite the teacher.
Now I heard he can be quite demanding.
Well, you know, he has an idea of the picture in his head, and nothing is going to come between him and that, not even the actors.
And this is Mr. Fisher's first film with nudity, correct?
Yes, well, you know, he felt that a modern motion picture should reflect the times.
And you filmed this in Europe.
Correct.
They go for that in Europe, the nudity.
Yes, our producer said, we are born naked, and if we are lucky, we die naked. So why not shoot the movie naked?
Well put.
He kept his clothes on.
And the picture is out soon?
I hope so.
Yeah. And now, you're not in New York only to talk about Ambrosio, but you're filming another picture.
That's right, yes, with John Jurek, who was the director of photography on Ambrosio. We're writing it together.
That is amazing. You are smarter than you look. I'm kidding. So what is this movie about?
So it's called Minsky, and it's about an artist who is killed, and the suspect, the number one suspect, is his muse. That's the part I play. And there is a detective investigating, and he falls for her.
Well, I can't blame him.
Well, he has a cop mindset, and it's really about the clash between the artists, how they live, and this cop mindset, the conservative mindset, I guess. He is surprised by how messy the lives of artists are.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We've had some on the show. Mr. Warhol. Have you met Mr. Warhol?
Oh, yes, we've met.
Yes, we had him on the show, and he hardly spoke. Such a towering figure, and yet such a small, quiet man in person. You know, but his superstars, though, that's what he calls them, superstars. They are quite playful.
Yes, we'd like to put some of them in our movie.
Well, just make sure you've got a chaperone. And you like New York?
Oh, yes, I love it. The people are so interesting.
All right, well, we've got to take a short break here. Do you mind reading this out for us?
Now, marvelous magic will turn the next 60 seconds into a commercial.
Magic indeed.
Oh. Is that? I'm trying to... There is a vibration at the end there, but I can't tell if it's... Is there something really there? I don't know. I don't know. You can tell just how uncomfortable Marissa is. You can tell she is not enjoying herself during that interview. I am extremely interested to make a start on Minsky, because with Ambrosio, that is someone else's work. Ambrosio was based off of the monk, and how do I put it? When you are writing your own piece, that's where you are going to put in most of your personality. Some things are going to show through with how you direct, how you act, but this is something that Marissa and John Durick have written together. This is really going to show what makes Marissa tick and what makes John Durick tick. So I am very interested to see this.
Marissa was already a...
Okay.
Do you like it?
It's wonderful. How is it being on the other side of the camera, hair director?
He thinks that if he gives you presents, he'll let him make you one of his superstars.
Andy, I do believe you've made John jealous with your gift.
Marissa was already a star before she came to town. I'm just being nice.
Well, that's good to hear. I intend to make Marissa a star for more than 15 minutes.
You boys, you're being so macho with each other. Why don't you just make it up and kiss? There is nothing more cinematic than a kiss. Kiss, 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 kiss.
Okay, no.
And I thought you liked blue movies.
I was thinking, is that supposed to be Andy Warhol? Is that supposed to be him? Okay, so he's gifted them a camera. Marissa is using it, and she's being a little obnoxious here. She's being a wee bit obnoxious, trying to push for them to kiss. However, I don't think I really have much to say on that. I don't think there's really much other than the fact that John Durick's like, yeah, I'm gonna make her a star. We're in this together. This was... Okay, so this is the end of the year. This is a couple of days before Christmas, actually. Okay. And yeah, oh, hello. Okay, so this is the middle of May. Or the end of May, rather. Middle of the year. The next year, okay.
Marissa himself has arrived.
Okay, making of Minsky.
Marissa, is it true you never posed for paint?
No, never.
Oh, you are a natural. Just don't kill me like you do the artist in this movie.
You'll have to cut that out.
Oh, is that a twist?
No, I like to keep things ambiguous. Speak of the devil, artist himself has arrived.
Good to see you, John. Hello, everybody. Thought I'd drop in to take a look at my handiwork.
You know, I have played an artist twice before, so I'm already pretty damn good at pretending how to paint. Oh, no. I prefer the illusion.
Douglas.
Enchanted. You know, I will take advantage of you being frozen in place to steal a kiss. I have heard great things about you. I can see they're all correct. You know, John, I did meet Picasso once before. It's very short and rude. He did do me a sketch on a napkin. I'm just waiting for him to die, so it'll be worth something.
You don't care for it.
Oh, no. I am not a fan of cubism. It just seems inherently wrong to take a beautiful woman and turn her into a bunch of triangles. Got that from your documentary? I don't want to be dismissed as a cultural heathen. You know, John, I was thinking, I'd like to make a few requests. Since this film is named after him, I feel like we should make Minsky a little more sympathetic.
Oh, I have a lot to say there. Oh, I love that. I don't want to be dismissed as a cultural heathen. But, sir, you're being a prick. Who cares about being a cultural heathen? You're being a prick right now. That is... I will say, I'm not particularly a big fan of cubism either. And it's... How do I put it? It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I prefer, you know, something a little bit more traditional. However, that's, you know, I'm not saying, oh, cubism is shit. I'm just like, it's not my thing. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm just kind of like, yeah, nah, give me a nice picture of some flowers. Give me a nice picture of some flowers any day.
Marissa, is it true you never posed for paint?
No, never.
Now, if the stranger, the creature, however I'm referring to her now, we know that she has posed. I can't remember the name she gave. It's someone who's alive at the time that this would be filmed. But yeah, we know that she posed for someone and she made the comment of, I was in no danger of being turned into a muse. Do you think all of those women will outlive him? I just... That hidden scene, it's making me pause. I'm kind of like, what are you, Marissa? I'm no longer like, what is this woman? I'm like, what is Marissa? What is you? Have you been devoured or did something else happen? I am curious. Why aren't you aging? Still, I find it interesting that she said no.
Oh, you are a natural. Just don't kill me like you do the artist in this movie.
You'll have to cut that out.
Oh, is that a twist?
No, I like to keep things ambiguous.
Okay, so we know the end of the film, that the artist Minsky is indeed killed by his muse. Okay, that's how... I'm really excited for Minsky because I don't know the plot of it. I was familiar somewhat with The Monk. However, this is a completely fictional piece of writing, so I'm gonna have to try and figure it out as we go, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, the big twist ending, the muse did it, aye.
Speak of the devil, the artist himself has arrived.
Good to see you, John. Hello, everybody. Thought I'd drop in to take a look at my handiwork. You know, I have played an artist twice before.
He's so smarmy.
Pretending how to paint.
So slimy. I'm just like, this is not charming.
Douglas.
He looked between her legs.
You know, I will take it.
I don't know if you caught that, but he looked at her face and then looked down. And as we pan over, it would have been right at her crotch. Like, sir, no. The look on Marissa's face, she's just like, ah, you pig.
I've heard great things about you. I can see they're all correct.
How? She's literally just sat there. She's not acting, she's posing. She's not acting. Clearly, the great things he's heard about Marissa is that she's hot. Like,
No, John, I did meet Picasso once before.
And this is... I'm not so interested in this. Yeah, he's clearly not into art. Marissa's probably gonna hate him. Yeah, there was something here.
You know, John, I was thinking, I'd like to make a few requests. Since this film is named after him, would you make Minsky a little more sympathetic?
Marissa is so fucking done. Marissa is sat there like, I've just met this man and he a bitch. Okay, so this guy, he's already making requests. I don't know how far into filming they're going. This is creating props. So I would assume they've already written the script at this point. They've done the casting. They might not have gotten so far as rehearsals. This is, you know, I think I'm good there. Yeah, I don't think they'd be in rehearsals yet. This is still in the conceptual stage, and he's already been like, okay, let me tweak the script a bit. I don't know who Minsky is as a character, but what that guy was saying, oh, can we make him more sympathetic? I think the type of person Marissa is, I think she'd create a film that would make the audience think. I think she'd want the audience to leave the cinema going, ooh, what did I make of that? What did you think of this character? Oh, well, I thought such a thing. Oh, I didn't get that vibe at all. What did you think about the ending? Oh, well, I thought this happened. Oh, no, that wasn't my interpretation. I think she'd want to create something that wasn't quite so black and white. And we know that in Minsky, it's all about, you know, an artist being murdered. I get, if he's saying, oh, can we make him more sympathetic? I guess it's the idea of like, yeah, this man was murdered, but he was a prick. So do you really feel sorry about it? Like, if that's the plot, then making him more sympathetic, well, it'll just muddy what you're trying to achieve. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. They said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back. They gave a name. Douglas. Okay, Douglas seems like a prick. I've known this man for all of 2 minutes and I'm already like, oh, you seem like a prick. You don't seem pleasant. I'm looking at my time. I feel so guilty. We've only reviewed 2 scenes. It's not, we had a major bombshell. We had a major bombshell over here. It wasn't my fault. I intended to do more, and we shall in the next episode. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.